Hello, everybody. We are here at the Watchman Conference, and I'm here with my friend, L.A. Marzulli.
Great to be here, David. Thanks for the interview.
Hey,
Very
you're
cool.
welcome. All right, now you guys know who he is, but I'm here to ask him a question, which I wasn't going to. Now, we haven't talked about what I'm going to ask
No,
you, right?
no.
All right. Here it is right here. Who is L.A. Marzulli?
Yikes. I wasn't ready for that. Well, I've been a Christian for 37 years. I'm a pastor, a worship leader. 25 years of that. I've written 12 books, created 14 films, and it's just we're in the field. I'm known primarily as an expert about the Nephilim.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So you're a worship leader, like music?
Like music. Yeah.
Okay, so like you're on stage, you're cooking down with the guitar, and all of a sudden some Nephilims come floating
Hello.
in.
How did that happen?
Right. So see, the reason I asked you, I bet you a lot of people didn't know. Number one, you were a music leader. Mm-hmm. Number two, maybe not even a pastor, just kind of like an investigative reporter, right?
Right.
So see, there you go. I'm glad.
Yeah, lots behind the scenes.
Glad I asked the question. So what's the latest from L.A. Marzulli?
Well, we're working on really interesting. I was working on this series called In Their Own Words, and what I was doing is because we spent a lot of time at conferences in front of people. I was asking, hey, anyone who's had angelic encounters, demonic encounters, come up and let me know what they are. And people would come up and just tell me some amazing stories about angelic encounters. I mean, where people's lives were saved. Cars went through intersections and basically skipped through time and space, stuff like that.
Wow.
To tractor trailer coming through, and all of a sudden the woman with a car full of kids is 50 yards down the road. How did that happen?
Wow.
Yeah, stuff like that. But then on the other, conversely, with demonic, people talking about demonic encounters now coming in Jesus saved them from that. So I'm actually shooting this film. I'm in the middle of it. I'm getting excited about it. And I'm in my bedroom one day getting dressed for, the day's activities. And the Lord gives me one word. And he goes, Fatima. And I kind of go, whoa. Now, I've written about Fatima in Politics, Prophecy, and Supernatural. That book came out, I think, in 86, 87.
Okay, what is Fatima?
Well, Fatima is in Portugal. Okay. Fatima is a place. But Fatima, 100 years ago, this October, is the anniversary of something called Miracle of the Sun.
Really, you're a storyteller. You're a filmmaker, actually.
Yeah.
You're like me. You're like a filmmaker.
Exactly.
I feel sorry for you. But
it's a curse, folks.
Yeah, right. So let me ask you a question. The modern day church. If you had 10 churches of the modern day church, it was small church, Baptist, Six Flags Over Jesus, how many churches of those would let L.A. Marzulli in to tell their story?
What's interesting is, and it's hopeful to me, is that we're seeing different churches all over the United States wake up, and in Europe. We were invited to Switzerland. Now, that hasn't happened yet, but there was an invitation that was extended to us, and we said, sure, we'd love to come. And the pastor that wrote me said, all of Europe is a mission field. And he's right. Europe used to be the bastion of the evangelical world. It no longer is.
So what I hear you saying is the old tradition religion is shutting us out, but there's a new movement.
There is.
You might say of enlightenment. People going.
I think most people, David. I think most people are tired of the formula.
Right.
The two fast songs, the two slow songs, the
Right.
men come forward, the morning announcements,
Right.
and men forward to see the morning offering. A 20-minute sermon, as Russ Dizdar says, the less than 30 seconds of corporate prayer,
Right.
and out the door we go. I mean, it's like
Right. They're done with it.
they're looking for something more.
And that's why I'm making Last Evangelist. It's like a cop show, like CSI meets the
Right.
Book of Revelation.
Which is good.
Kind of like investigating, what you do. And people go, oh, it's a Christian. I go, no. It's just me. It's a guy who believes in God, who believes in Scripture.
Right.
It's normal. And they go, oh, check that out. So, all right, so since I've been looking at it, researching you, listening to you, if there was an episode about the most important thing to you in The Last Evangelist, what would that episode be like?
Definitely about the so-called extraterrestrial presence. In fact, without tipping my hand to what we discovered in Fatima, but I'm tipping my hand.
Okay.
What appeared that day was not the sun. The sun didn't move from its place in the universe, from our galaxy, and come down to Earth. That's nonsense.
Okay.
We'd all be dead. The whole planet would be dead. And it was a local condition. Now, 20 miles away, people saw something, but 100 miles away, people didn't see anything, and it was not reported. I mean, astronomers didn't see anything. So it wasn't the sun. that came
Oh.
over the people. It was something else.
So which are they walking amongst us now?
I have all sorts of stories from people of encounters with hybrid entities, and this goes right back into what the whole, basically the nexus of my work, the Nephilim, this hybrid entity, a mixture of human, women, fallen angels. We've had people that have had encounters with hybrid entities,
Okay.
and so stuff's already happening.
So it's here now.
It's here now. I mean, the whole UFO phenomenon is the one event that changes everything. When they show up, if they show up, and they're going to show up soon, in my opinion.
Okay.
And I know that sounds like, Marzulli's got his tinfoil hat on. I wear it proudly. The bottom line is, when they show up, if there's disclosure, everything changes overnight.
Okay.
Everything changes, and I think that's the great deception.
Could it be possible they're in the church today, that they've mingled within the church system?
I don't know. I don't know about that. We've had. I know the Satanists do that, and I've had firsthand encounters with that. So I
Okay.
know that that's true.
Okay.
They infiltrate the churches,
Okay.
but as far as like hybrid entities and mixing with the churches, that I don't know. I've never heard a report of that.
Do they take physical form?
Oh, they're hybrid beings. They
Oh,
look,
okay.
They look like us.
Okay.
But in fact, they can pass for human from what we've. Look, when I say this stuff, I realize it's incredibly out there. But this is a report from a pastor, and I've said this story numerous times. I'll say it again. This pastor, who I've spoken at his church 3 or 4 times, he's doing a prayer walk on a Saturday morning in the summer a couple of years ago. He's out in the park doing a prayer walk on a little jogging trail thing, praying for people. Out in the distance is a woman, very tall, strikingly white blondish hair, pulled back in a ponytail, very athletic looking. Okay, nothing wrong with that, nothing unusual. Could be a female basketball player, volleyball player, whatever, right? Or just a woman who's very athletic and outgoing. So
Right.
what, right? Nothing unusual. But he's troubled in his spirit. He's praying, and he doesn't know why he's troubled when he looks at her. They come closer, she comes closer and closer and closer. Finally, she's about 20 feet away. They make eye contact. She sees that she has striking blue eyes, very, very, very vibrant blue eyes.
Right.
And as she comes closer, the eyes shift to black. And he begins to rebuke her in Jesus' name. And as she runs by him, she turns and looks at him, bares her teeth, and growls.
Wow.
Now, what do you do with that? Is that normal? Is that a normal human being, or is that something else?
No, but before I got married, I dated a few girls. But here's the thing. So extraterrestrial beings, are they demonic? They are. Okay. So basically,
Unequivocally.
Okay,
in
so
my opinion.
definitely, I've preached in some churches, and I've looked out in the congregation, and I believe I've seen some of them. I mean, I'm kind of joking, but I'm not.
Yeah, I hear
I
what you're
mean,
saying, right.
it's like the way they look at you. Jesus, when he walked the face of the earth, in the synagogue, when he first walked in, he faced a demon. That was one of the first times he faced a demon.
So what's the demon-possessed person doing in the synagogue? Is there anything different today? No.
No, it's all the same.
It's all the same.
It's all the same. So, in this episode that you would do, you would want to showcase that they are among us, that they have come out, okay? And they're walking, or are they flying in from outer space? Is there an invasion, or are they planted?
It's a very complex question.
Okay.
One that I can only sort of posit what I think. I think it's both.
Okay.
They're planted here, and there are deep underground bases. There are also underwater bases under the oceans, which is the perfect place
mean
to hide huge ships.
Amphibian type?
Well, they're not amphibian, but the ships are underneath the ocean. The ships go up out of the ocean, do their thing, and come back in. We've had reports from people who were abducted being taken to all sorts of weird places.
Wow. You know what's interesting? There's people out there that obviously love you and love what you're doing and embrace it, but there's also people out there going, what, these guys are they on drugs or
Yeah,
what?
well-
But let me say this.
Yeah.
Isn't God supernatural? When we're
Everything-
Christians, it's
Everything in the Bible is supernatural.
It's supernatural.
Everything is.
So why would we not think that that's a possibility?
Well, and the problem with all this is that we have the church, for the most part, is a very truncated view of the supernatural. And so we have this, Jesus warns us, his words, take it up with him, not me, that in the latter days, they, the church, will have a form of religion but deny its power. And in my opinion, we are in the Laodicea church age,
Right.
where we have a form of religion.
Right.
There are churches on every corner. People go. There's a formula that everybody does. The worship
Right.
band cranks up, and we all do our thing. But there's no power there. There's no power because corporately, Russ Dizdar talked about this. There's less than 30 seconds of prayer. And that's what we're supposed to do. Do we wait on the Lord? Do we all sit silent before Him and allow the gifts to move? No, that's completely shut down.
Right.
And if it happens, it's usually completely out of order and completely crazy.
Right. And in the last evangelists, I take it a step further, is that you have the registered churches and the unregistered. So the registered is with the government, and they think they're on track. That's the true religion. Whereas we have to go underground, and they think we are the...
Yeah, it's becoming that. It's becoming that. The good news is there is a remnant, and people are waking up.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Thank you, L.A.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Good stuff.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, David.
And thank you.